I am unstoppable. No. Unstable. That's the one.
Ever been in this situation before? Well, let's fix it. Cue the intro. Blender is very unstable, especially with Octane, but there are a few things that you need to keep an eye out for. And here are the things that actually cost you your insanity and your render times. We start off with the biggest nightmare of every Blender artist, the glass. Now the biggest culprit over here is the universal shader. I mean, there's a reason there's a whole dedicated shader for specular materials. It's monkey proof because it don't want you going like yeah. Because when it comes to the specular shader, it's actually pretty simple and intuitive so that you always know what you're doing and what sort of look you can achieve. So what would I suggest? I would suggest one thing. Just use the specular material instead of the universal one. It'll save you a lot of hassles. Okay, so now we got our specular material ready. We got all the settings dialed in. We got our perfect look. But when you render it, it just goes like yikes. I mean, if you have a keen eye, you know what to do right now. Just go into your render tab over here, and then if you scroll down towards the specular, you can just crank it up all the way to 24. And for the volumes, you can just turn it off and you'll get a clean render. But do you need to turn off the volumes? Now, a common mistake that a lot of new Blender Octane users do is they even plug in the volume into a diffuse material. And just because of that, your render times plus your whole scene tanks down to the ground. And what happens is you're putting unnecessary force on your hardware just to get out a render that would either take 30 seconds, it jumps all the way up to like 10 minutes. Don't be that douchebag, please. So, lesson of the story, if you're using a diffuse material, don't use a volumetric. Okay, like that's for diffuse materials, but what about if I want a whole scene with a lot of volumetrics? So, for example, I'll take this library over here, and from this cloud library, I'm going to be selecting these three clouds and I'm going to be placing them all across the scene. Now what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be exporting all of them as an Alembic file and then re-importing them and deleting the original ones. Because I'm going to be adding one material which is going to be calculated once instead of 3 times. And that will actually save me a lot of render times. And especially when you're doing animation, it's a pretty big lifesaver. Okay, so you might be thinking to yourself, okay, voice guy, what if I want to make a fortune telling ball? Then, well, it's pretty simple. Just add your sphere, add your displacement, and make sure your displacement is 2K. You don't need to go 4K, you don't need to go 6K, you don't need to go 8K, and God forbid you don't need to go 16K just for a displacement map. Otherwise, you can just say goodbye to your GPU. And right after that, what you need to do is plug in your volumetrics properly with like all of the settings dialed in, tuned in according to your hardware, and yeah, you'll be good. Now comes the biggest culprit of all, the one that's always in front of us but we never see it. We always ignore it just because of one reason. It always slips away from every artist's mind, the diffuse. Now the biggest culprit that tanks your Blender scene is pretty simple, displacement. Now a lot of the time people add so much geometry that even your grandma can't count and she goes nuts.
6995, 6996, 6997.
Who is this old lady again? And why is she in my house? And who made this script? Anyways, moving on. Dummy mistake number 1. Now here's the thing. When you're adding displacement, especially with Octane, you don't need a lot of geometry. Like for example over here, I'm going to be taking this sphere and I'm going to be adding a Cinema 4D noise into it. Now, as you guys can see, it only has a limited amount of vertices instead of
70! 70!
Yeah, she's still counting. So what I personally recommend is never go above 2K textures for displacement. But yet again, if you need to do a close-up, 4K is more than enough. But for one shot only, and make a whole different scene for that. And then add your displacement onto your object. And that's it. You don't need to put it into the same project file for everything. Now after all of these optimizations, you might be thinking, okay, my 1060 could make every animation that I want. And then the realization hits. It's still taking hours and hours and hours and hours on end to make that whole animation for you. So, what's the solution? Well, the solution is the render network. So, I've been working with render network for the past 2 years now, and I've been using their services on my live streams. Plus, I've been using them for my client projects as well. And these guys are really affordable. Like, I remember I was doing a project for one of my clients, and that whole animation rendered out in 4K 30 frames with just 100 euros. And for me, that's a lifesaver because it rendered out in 30 minutes instead of me waiting for more than 35 hours to render it out on my PC. So, if you guys want to join it, the link's in the description. So yeah guys, that's gonna be it for this video, but hey, you know where to find me. Just hit the subscribe button. Until then, God bless you all and your families. See you around. Bye!